Hey, how are you today? It's your host, Matt Morgan, and you're listening to another episode of Car Musings. How's it going today? Wow, it's a cold one out there. Cold one, cold one, cold one. I'm not sure what neck of the woods you are in, what part of the world, but hey, it is cold where I am at right now. You know, winter is always a wonderful, wonderful time of year. I love it, frankly. I prefer winter out of a lot of the seasons. Fall's pretty good too, but winter's where it's at, I find. Nothing wrong with the winter wonderlands. Nothing wrong at all. So where are we at today? Well, that's a good question. Where are we at today? I don't even know what's on my mind today. Just so much going on. Oh yeah, that's right. I've decided to not conform, but decided to pretty much, if you can't beat them, join them, so to speak. But also just keep moving forward. That's about it. That's what you can do. Before I get into that, hey, how's your integrity been? Keeping your integrity in check? You doing the right thing when no one else is watching? Only you will know. Beyond that, when's the last time you stopped by themadmorgan.com? Has it been a while? Are you overdue for a visit? That's it's important. You have to visit. You have to get time in with the older folks. You just do. Come by for a visit. Check out what we have. We have new articles. We have new resources. We have new stuff. Redesign whenever we have the opportunity. We get in there. We change some stuff up. Check it out. And of course, if you're feeling frosty, feeling generous, feeling like you want to help a good cause, go over to our support page. Throw us a few, you know, whatever you got spare lying around, and help us out. I will be honest with you folks. We are getting to the point where I'm not sure how much longer we can stay afloat, so to speak. So, you know, we might just be at the tail end, unfortunately, of this podcast because of cost factors. Because yes, as I've mentioned to you before, the costs come out of our pocket each month, and with limited sponsors and limited funding to keep us on the air, we kind of have to look at the big picture. So, one of the big pictures is that this is a cost not moving forward going to do. Um, but you know what? Even if we go off the air for a short period of time, just remember the madmorgan.com will exist until our next project. We will get up and running again eventually. So that's always our home base. So always come on by. Always pitch in when you can. Always share back, share your feedback. Share your feedback. Reach out to one of my staff, which is pretty much at this point just me because I can't afford these staff. And, if you contributed, which gets us going again, great. Um, and it gives us a float. Guardian Angel, be great, be great until we get the sponsors, get the recognition that we deserve because I'm hearing the feedback from people. But like I said before, actions speak louder than words. And I agree. I love the emails, the DMs. I love all the support. That's all great and everything, folks. But at the end of the day, it's not paying the bills right now. So, dig deep, dig deep. Send some money to help out the cause. That's all I'm saying. Send some money to help out the cause. But anyways, I'm gonna leave that ball in your court. I'll give you a fair notice before we do anything drastic like that. But at this point, I am going to let you know that the coffer's been bare for a while, so it is time to put something back in them. So whatever can be done, be ever be done. I mean, as I said, it's really tough that the world is the way it is. It is really tough that people are such assholes at times. Um, you know that unfortunately this is the way people are. That they're not very helpful, um, or giving for that matter. Everybody's all self-serving themselves. And it's not everybody, but there is a majority out there that's doing it. And you know what, folks? That nothing divides people more when when people are just you know, so selfish that they can't help out another human being. That's the problem, right? That's the thing. And you really have to help. Let's go, bud. Today. Thank you. Put your penis away, dude. Let's go. Anyways, you gotta unite. You can't divide. And the thing is that help each other out. Help each other out. I'm not saying for myself. I'm saying just in general. Help each other out. Right? Really do what you can in your community. Do what you can for everybody. Say a kind word. Give support. I mean, I don't have to tell you all this. It's elementary. It should be. Let's go, bud. Like seriously. Fucking idiot. Um, so all I'm saying. Anyways, where am I at today? Enough with the speeches of stuff that you should already know, you know, assuming that you have two brain cells to rub together. Where are we at today? Well, today I'm like, you know what? Moving forward, I'm like, it's time to not just sit and think. It's time to actually act. It's time to actually go, okay, woe's me, blah, 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 I got it. So, time to actually think about everything we put in the back burner, think about everything that we thought about at one point, never did, and just get on with it. And, it's funny because it's kind of following my own advice of, okay, well, I suggest to people to do this. I recommend people do that. Um, and then I don't really always follow my own advice, unfortunately, but it's just one of those things. It's just like, it's great to say it. It's great to actually try to motivate people with it, but it's not actually doing anything. So, if I'm not doing it, how can I give that advice? So I started moving forward on this stuff, and I can't lose steam on it because it's like, hey, maybe there's something here that is a golden nugget that should be done. Um, you gotta start thinking of alternatives. If you can't rely on somebody else, rely on yourself, right? If you can't rely on anybody else, rely on yourself. Find something to be self-sufficient, right? Get yourself back on track. That's kind of the suggestion I make. Get yourself back on track. Be self-sufficient. Find something and run with it, right? And so it's great to give the advice. I think I'm going to follow my own advice, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to be self-sufficient and get on my own feet and put the ball in motion. And I recommend that to anybody. Like, put the ball in motion. Just do it. Just do it. You know, just do it. Because, you know, nothing else panning out. What do you got to lose? Right? It's like, I mentioned before, it's just like somebody that has nothing to lose, you don't want to mess with them. You got nothing to lose, you know, the sky's the limit. It's like, yep, I'm good. Just, you know, whatever you got, throw it at me. Whatever you got, throw it at me. And that's kind of where I'm at now. I'm like, whatever you got, throw it at me. What do I got to lose? Nothing at this point. Well, I got a lot to lose, but you know what I'm saying. Yeah, some days get worse than others. Some days you sit there and you try to keep it together, but you can't because you're like frigadig, like what the hell. Um, but you always got to remember that there's light at the end of the tunnel, and it's not always a train. You always got to remember that you know you've been able to pull yourself through worse, or others have been able to pull themselves through worse. So if they can do it, you can do it. But don't roll over and just submit to it. Say, hey, I got this. I'm gonna get back on track with this and be stronger, better, everything else beyond this. And you can be, but you just have to have the perseverance. You just have to dig in your heels. You just have to say, no, I'm not going to quit. No, I'm not going to surrender. No, I am definitely going to succeed, So that's what you have to do. That's what you have to do. Have the no quit attitude. And that's kind of where I'm at. No quit attitude. But I have to just, everything else works out. Don't get me wrong. Everything else works out. Everything else works out in time. Everything else works out as it should, right? And I'm starting to see that, which is good. I'm starting to see that there is a path. I'm starting to see that, you know, what I figure will happen. And, some of the stuff is really easy to see from a distance if you know what to look for. But, anyways, enough of my babblings on that one. Enough of my babblings on that one. Make a list. Checklists are good. Make a list. Make a list at, that advice that you've given to people that you think to yourself, man, that's good. That's good. The kind of advice that when you give it, you know, people's faces light up because it makes sense to them too. Yeah, that kind of advice, right? That's the kind of advices that you want to start following yourself. That's the kind of advices that you want to go, oh yeah, yeah, that's it. That's it right there. That's the advice that you should be following yourself. And go with it. What do you got to lose at this point, right? What do you got to lose? Push all the silliness aside. Push all the silly thoughts aside. Push all that to the back. Don't even entertain it, and just you know put something in motion. You never know what could happen. You really don't. You never know what could happen. Hell, you'd probably kick yourself for not doing it sooner. You know, why didn't I do that sooner? What was I thinking? Why didn't I actually engage in that? I would be, you know, at a different level at this point. Because it's always easy to think about an idea, but it's not always easy to implement it. You get sidetracked, you get busy, stuff goes on your mind, you submit to the day's stresses, you know, you start you start looking at everybody else as being a culprit. You start looking at everything else as being the point of, you know, why you ended up where you did. And there should probably some truth to that, but it's not going to make a difference. You know, some people are just in their cozy little realities where they're able to do what they do, and you just have to get to that reality yourself too. But as I mentioned in earlier episodes, make sure you've been taking names. Make sure you've been taking names about everybody that fucking let you down. And everybody that started ghosting you. Everybody that couldn't give two shits whether you lived or not. Alright? I want you to make sure you refer to that list. And don't forget that list. Because as you implement, what I mentioned in today's episode, and get back on track again, they're going to start coming around again. They will. They will start coming around. And they will have every apology under the sun. Or the pleads of ignorance. A guy didn't know. Mm-hmm. Not that you haven't put up a spotlight for the last 2 fucking years. A big friggin' neon sign that's brighter than the sun that says, hey. But no, fair enough. They're going to come up with this bullshit. And you're just going to have to figure out what you're going to do with that. Me? What do I plan on doing with it? you know, that's a really good question. That's a really good question. I think it's going to fall along the lines of, hey, fuck you, or probably silence. Silence is deadly at times, I find. I think sometimes being silent is actually probably the worst because, you know, nothing's being said, so it's not like you can react to it. You know, this person can't react to it, that person can't react to it because it's like nothing is there. It's like complete dead silence, right? So, it's just like What do you do at that point? What do you do at that point? It's just, yeah, I don't know. Cross that bridge when you get to it, my friends. Cross that bridge when you get to it. That's what I'm saying. Just cross that bridge when you get to it. Because the thing is that you will have to deal with that day. You will have to deal with, you know, once they see you have something they want, or something that they can exploit you for, or something that they can use you for, or you are some sort of asset to them. At that point, it's just like, yeah, they're going to start coming around again. So let's start with square one. Let's get those plans of those advices that you've given to everybody. Let's knock them out. Let's make a list of them. I want to do that today myself. Make a list of them and entertain every single one of them. Okay, at least once. Then you sit back and you wait and you see which one gets traction. Now remember, there's opportunities out there that you don't need to spend a lot of money on. You could just spend time on, and that's fine. Spend the time on it, right? Put the time into it. Don't need to put money into it. But once you do that, you're laughing, and then you sit back. Something's got to give. One of the ideas has got to pan out. You could try brainstorming outside of the box and start thinking of something new, but you know, it's amazing. I find how many people are actually ignorant to technology and how many people are actually ignorant to the ins and outs of certain things. It really does baffle me that how are you so out of touch? I have no idea. Like, how are you so out of touch that you don't know how to do certain things? That's one thing that baffles me. Like, I was listening to a seminar yesterday and somebody's talking about AI and this and that and its capabilities, and I'm like, fuck, buddy, that's like 2 years ago. Like, that is so behind the times. Doing this stuff is easy, but to some people, it's like friggin' magic. It's like mind blowing. Like, what? You can do that? Yeah, for a while now, you know? Really got me thinking that a lot of people just don't know, just don't know about certain things. Unfortunately, you don't want to prey on them because your better self is like, yeah, don't prey on other people. But at the same time, you're like, shit, if somebody's got more money than they do common sense, well, there's got to be something. Got to be something that's got to give somewhere. So let's help them give me a consulting fee for my knowledge. You can't assume that everything's been done. That's all I'm saying. You can't assume everything's been done. But just move forward with an idea. No matter if you have obstacles, because you got to remember it's 8 billion people. Let's do some quick math. If you charge something as low as $5, but yet hook in 500,000 people, think about that. Or even 100 people. Or even 1,000 people, right? Think about that. Statistically speaking, look how many people are on the internet. And if you could capture, maybe, a small portion of that business, and enough of it across different markets. Because I'll tell you, my number is not that high. My number is not that high to get back on my feet. It's very simple, actually. It's like, let's round it up. 1250 a month. No, 1250 a week. And what's 1250 a week in a 7 day period? It's less than $200 a day. That's what I said. Less than $200 a day. Less than $200 a day. We're talking a 7 day work week. Less than $200 a day. You can tell me you can't make that sale? If you sell something for $5, do the math. See, 200 divided by 5. Like, that's only 40 people. 40 people in a 24-hour period, right? 40 people. doable when there's billions of people on the internet. You just have to have something that gives, something that sells, something that people want. That's what it comes down to. And just go with it. Just run with it. And if you find that something's working out, just double down. Double down. Put some more of that crap out there. Anyways, that's about it. I'm gonna wrap it up today. But my advice for today's episode is just move forward. Move forward with the ideas you had. Move forward with the advice that you've given for yourself and for your own benefit. That's all I'm going to say. For yourself and for your own benefit, just move forward with that advice and capitalize on it. It was your advice you gave others. Some of them probably even ran with it, and some of them are probably laughing about it because they did run with it. But you should too. Anyways, that is about it for me. I'm going to call it. You guys have a wonderful day ahead. I'm going to try to go home and get a couple more hours of sleep before I got to go out for my busy day with the wife and take on the rest of the world like I got to. Thanks for tuning in. Check out themadmorgan.com. Keep your integrity in check. I'm your host, Matt Morgan. You've been listening to another episode of Car Musings. I am out, and I will see you next episode. Bye for now.